Hey, what is going on everyone? Mike here, and this is episode 5 of the FBA series. Today we're going to go over actually listing merchandise, packaging and organizing merchandise, and then sending in your first shipment. Now basically, I'm just going to go over my listing process quickly to show you how I'm efficient. After that, I'm going to physically show you how I pack my packages for my shipments. This includes bagging them, tagging them, and then putting them in boxes. Now this is a pretty long process because of the amount of units I have. So again, I think this video will end up being in 2 pieces. The first one will be me showing you how I organize everything ahead of time, then me bagging it, and then I think the last video will probably be me physically putting it in the boxes, packaging it out to go, and then going on an overview over my last 30 days of FBA, how I've done, and the things I've done to make that amount of money. Now if you've been following the series, I truly appreciate it. I've got lots of support. On the past 4 videos, we have well over 1,000 views just in like 3 or 4 days now. I truly do appreciate all the views, all the support for the video series. I was hoping it did well, so let's continue to share it. Let your friends know if they want to get into FBA. I think I really did a good job explaining a lot of the things people don't realize about FBA. So I thank you so much. Let's get going. Hey, what's up everybody? Mike here. I want to talk a little bit about listing before we get started on actually physically packing the items. I want to show you how I list efficiently, what I do that saves time. So when you list, there's 2 different options. You can list through the Amazon interface, or you can actually list through your seller account portion. I believe that listing through the Amazon interface, is usually faster, and the reason is because when you list in the seller version, they don't allow you to hit a button that says like list next item, so you have to backtrack or open a separate window or whatever. So the most important thing for listing quickly is a barcode scanner. If you're listing anything new, you should have a barcode scanner. It saves you so much time. As with yesterday's video, anything I talk about in the video will be linked in the description. But for instance, with new merchandise, right, you would just scan the barcode, and then if it's in Amazon's catalog, it will show up. Now I have some Ninja Turtles cups that aren't in their catalog, weird enough, but the other issue you'll have is if you have items without barcodes, which I'll talk about in a second. So I'm gonna search for something I do have really fast. Alright, so these pub glasses I also have, and actually if you look at the photo, it's one of the photos is this cup. Obviously this is in the duo pack, which I have as well, and I have some green ones. But when you go on here, you just go over to sell, and it's really that simple. That's all you do is you hit sell, and you'll type in your information, which I'll show you really fast. Make sure you click the FBA box, and here's the box I was talking about. You can hit remember, hit continue, and then it'll be submit your listing. Now this will take you to the shipment page where you can add it to a shipment if you would like. However, you don't need to. You should do it the route I showed you. Now what you want to do instead of doing what I just did is this. You go on Amazon, you type in what you need, and find what you need, and click in the 3rd mouse wheel, and that opens a new tab. And so what I do for items is I'll open multiple tabs of the items I have, whether they be scanned in or whatever, and then I'll add them all to my inventory, and you can just cancel out when it's going into this window here. You can just close it. You don't need to go here. It automatically redirects no matter what, which is inefficient and very annoying. So you can just close it and you're done. You don't have to worry about the shipment portion. Then later you can go in your shipment, add all the items as long as one is already in. Now I have a bunch of other items here that don't have barcodes, like wristbands and stuff. And so you're gonna have to physically, search for them. But this is all I do is I'll just open the link and then move on to the next item. And so then I have like a Sonic shirt. I don't know if this is in their inventory or not. for whatever reason, a lot of the wholesale goods I have from Black Friday aren't in their catalog, so I actually have to go through and add them. So I might make a separate video about adding items to their catalog in the future. It's pretty straightforward, but you do need high quality images, which I do have of shirts. Alright, I swear it's like a curse. Anytime I grab merchandise to show you on camera, it's not in the catalog. This shirt is, I've seen it before, so if like I search Golden Axe t-shirt, it shows up, but I picked a shirt on purpose. I wanted to show you something. If you're in a gated section, which clothing is gated, you have to get approved, there's never a sell button over here. You can usually get a sell button if you can get into the directory, but since only one person is selling, I don't even think there's a way to get into the item directory where you can see competing prices. If you can get to that page, like if multiple people are selling something, there will be a sell box if you're approved at the top. If not, you have to enter those through the seller dashboard. But I promise you it's way more inefficient. I don't like it, and there's multiple reasons why I don't like it. I'm going to show you really fast. If you go to manage inventory and then add a product, this is where you would add them, and you can scan in your barcode to search keywords, and then I'll type in like Golden Axe t-shirt. Now we got our results here for different sizes, which is cool, but if we type in something like Portal wristbands, which I already know are in here, first of all, you'll see that it didn't show the same results it showed on Amazon in the rankings. Maybe because I spaced. There it is. Now look here, there's 3 different listings for the same item, right? Now to even see which ones are ranked high, I have to open all these windows anyways and check the ranking. So the reason I go through the Amazon search is because you see the results as someone would see them. This is the top result, so then you're going to list on that top result. The issue with doing it the other way is you're not on the top result to begin with. Now obviously you want to make sure you're typing in the right keywords, because actually with the Portal wristbands you're probably going to want to list on this one because it has 2 reviews, and reviews will bump things up. It's 5 stars on both, so that's really good. But doing it this way gives you that view to pick your options. Doing it through this says nothing. You have to go in there and look anyways. And also if you hit sell through, it'll show your sales rank up here in the top right, so that's good to know when comparing. But it's still annoying that you would have to go through and click all of these, whereas if you go through the other interface you can just see the sales rank right in front of you. Alright, so obviously you can use either of the options. You can go through the main Amazon interface, or you can do the seller dashboard version. Either works. It's really you know, your discretion, whatever you prefer. I prefer this method just so I can open multiple windows, but like I said, new products, I line them all up, scan them in. If they're in the catalog already, I open new tabs, then list them in order. Or if they're not in the catalog, I put them in a separate pile, add them myself. The only time you can't do that is if the category is gated, and then I'll add those later through this interface. But I don't like doing it through here because then you don't actually see the rankings in front of you. You don't see the reviews. You have to open multiple other windows. So I much prefer this method, going through this interface. But you can do as you choose. I just wanted to show you really fast so you guys understood how I did it. And obviously you'll learn what you like as time goes on. We're going to cut over to my packing area. I'm going to show you what I'm working on. I'm going to do some stuff on camera so you guys can see, and then we're going to go from there. Alright, so I have all the stuff on the tables over here. Obviously it's a big mess. So to start out, before I do anything, like every process I have, it all gets organized. So I'm going to start organizing this onto the table. I might record it and like fast forward it, but obviously I'm not going to make you watch me organize. So I'll be back in a couple minutes, everything will be organized, and we're going to go from there. Alright guys, I hope you realize how much stuff I have actually looking at it now. All the stuff laid out was just the stuff from this bin. So I'm not even like halfway through the amount of stuff I have. I'm going to finish organizing the rest, fast forward, and I'll catch up with you in a second. Alright, so I'm going to do a flyby really quick so you can see. So that's stuff I have packaged, and I need to package the games, which I'll show you. I saved them. And here's a flyby of absolutely everything so you can see exactly how much stuff is getting sent to FBA. So like I said, it's no joke. There is a crap ton of stuff, and it all has to be labeled and packaged, so I'm going to go over that now so I can show you guys exactly how I do it and hopefully help you out. Alright guys, so I'm going to start going over packing different items so you can see as a first-hand example how to do it. Hopefully this will help you not make any mistakes and keep you from having any issues with FBA. So I grabbed a bunch of different items. We're going to go over each of them and I'll show you how I do it. Let's start out with this shirt, right? First thing you need to do is make sure the shirt is neatly folded. It looks nice, no fur or anything on it. Obviously Amazon only takes new clothing, so it has to look top-notch. Make sure there's no defects, but more importantly, make sure it looks good for the customer, because what you send in is what they're getting. The way it's folded, you know, all that. Amazon's not really going to mess with this, so make sure it looks good. And I have a tag in here that's keeping me from folding it the way I want, so I need to maneuver the tag a little bit. So that's how I fold shirts, like a nice square, nice and tight. And then the large bags I have, like I said, supplies will be down in the links. Please do not ask me in the comments. It's all down there, always. That way you don't have to go searching for it. And then once it's at the bottom of the bag, I make sure it's nice and tight down there. And what I do is I pull off the seal strip, and then usually I fold the bag over. That way I can keep air out of it. So it's nice and tight, it looks good, the warning label's on there, although it's more important that it's just visible when they open it, and it looks nice and neat. So I'll do this for all the shirts that aren't wrapped. And what I mean by that is my wholesaler sends me shirts that are sealed. So if I have shirts that aren't sealed, I have to bag them. These I don't have to bag. They can go straight to FBA. More importantly, there's already the suffocation label on this bag, which makes it so convenient for me. Alright, so I have like these portal socks here. I'll do the same thing as before, except I'll use the smaller bag. That way I'm saving on cost. Same thing, try and get most of the air out, fold it over. Nice and neat, looks good. This bag requires a suffocation warning label. And I always just put it wherever the seam is, which is right here, I just put it right over that. That means they can't get in this bag without looking at that label, so there's no excuse for any issues. Now this is important if you have objects that you don't want separated. So I have these portal wristbands. They are a set, so they can't be separated. I'm going to put them in the small bag. And just so you guys know, you don't really have to be concerned about sending small bags like this. I was concerned about it, and I just recently sent a bunch of stuff, and none of it got lost. All of it sold right away. And if Amazon does lose it, they just reimburse you for the cost, so it's not a big deal. So we go in this little bag like this. I'll put the label up here. But most importantly, you need a do not separate label of some sort. I don't have them, I need to buy some. But I just wrote it on label paper, and I've done this before. It's not a big deal. It doesn't have to be like printed out. The customer will see it, so make sure it's nice and neat. But as long as it looks good and you can put the label up here, it's fine. There's no issues. And basically, I'm going to move on to glass because that's really important. But basically, when this stuff is finished, it's going to look like this. It'll be wrapped in bags, very nice, and then there will be a label that Amazon uses to track it. So this is how you want all of your stuff to look. You want it to look nice and neat, wrapped, good to go. Before I show you glass, actually, I want to show you one other thing. This is very important if you want to stay out of commingled inventory. For products like this knife, it's brand new. You can put a label right over the barcode. This will keep you out of commingled inventory as long as you print up a label for your inventory. However, there's items you don't want to put labels directly on. For instance, this is a brand new PlayStation 3 game. You don't want to put a label right on a brand new PlayStation 3 game. So what you need to do is wrap the game. Wrap the game like this. Make sure it can't shift, because this is important. it can't shift in any way. If it can shift around left to right, which is an issue, because what you're going to do is you're going to take the label and put it over the barcode. Now if I put it here and this game shifts, then they might accidentally scan this barcode and you end up in commingled inventory. So put it somewhere it can't be shifted. You know, tape this down, which I'll do in a second, and then put your label right over the barcode. This means there's no chance of them ever scanning this barcode, and there's no chance of you ending up in commingled inventory. That's how you stay out of it. Later on, when I finally finish this entire package, I'll show you about printing the labels and labeling, but right now I want to focus on keeping things safe, according to guidelines, etc. Alright, let's move on to glass here. Alright, so this glass has to pass a drop test from 5 different points. So what I'm going to do is wrap it in bubble wrap pretty liberally. I'd say that's pretty good for how I'm going to set it up. Now what I always do is tuck in the bubble wrap and then fold over this way. This creates a cushion here, even in between, which gives you extra protection. Do the same on this side. And see, I should have centered it a little better because this side's a little less protected. Now this is pretty bubble wrap, but I wouldn't trust that this is going to be able to be dropped on the concrete safely multiple times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in this box, and this is where all the bubble mailers from Priority Mail come in. So what I'll do is I'll fold one of these over, stuff it in here. I'm actually going to need 2. And that'll make sure this cup is nice and safe, there's no issues whatsoever. Now as far as storage fees go, I'm not sure if they would take it out of this box or if they would leave it here. That is one thing I'm not too familiar with because I don't send in a lot of glass. But I think no matter what, if you're sending glass, it makes more sense just to protect it, make sure it's safe. And, you know, these are items that are going to sell, so I'm not too concerned about long-time storage fees. Alright guys, I hope the first-hand look kind of helped you get an idea of how I package things just to start out. The next video is going to be up on Tuesday because Monday's the Q&A. And it's going to go in further detail and finalize the entire shipment. I'm going to show you how I pack boxes, how I label the goods before then, how I sort based on the packing slip, and we're really going to go into the final details of finishing your shipment. I just wanted to show how I protect things. Obviously glass cups and stuff are very fragile. You probably want to bubble wrap and box them. Now as far as everything else goes, you can basically bag everything you send in. If you don't want it commingled inventory, make sure you put labels over the barcode and it can't shift from behind that label. Now, one thing I didn't show on video that I need to package is this. This is a set of 4 glass cups, which I have upside down. And the issue here is I need to bubble wrap this and I need a box to fit it, but it's kind of like an oblong shape, so I have to find some boxes to fit them in. If I can find any, I'll do a little video about how I package them. These really need to be safe. They're selling for over $70 on Amazon, so I need to make sure they get there safe. The other thing I didn't show were my posters. The reason I didn't show the posters is because I'm not going to package these. Basically, I'm going to put a label over them, and it's done. And the reason I'm doing that is because the resources to package each of these is roughly 50 to 60 cents in packing supplies, and that's at a good rate. Honestly, I've done a lot of research. I have poster tubes. They're not cheap. They're really hard to find good quality ones. So it would cost around 60 cents per poster, which is not worth it to me. I paid very little for these posters. I bought them through a sale last year, and they're really extra stock. So I'm going to send them in. I'm going to hope that they don't get crushed. If something happens and some of them are damaged, then it's kind of the risk I'm taking. That's my choice. But if you're going to send in only a few posters or they cost you a good amount of money, you probably want to cardboard tube them. I don't think there's any restrictions against it though. Overall, I just hope you guys really enjoyed the series. I hope it helped you and gave you some insight into how to set up your first shipment. I hope it gives you the drive to go start FBA. Honestly, it's a great program. It has so much opportunity to sell stuff. I've never seen things sell this fast in my entire life. Amazon is truly such a powerful entity. It can sell anything. The power of that website truly just blows my mind. I appreciate all the support. I truly do. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't. The next video is on Tuesday. Tomorrow will be the Q&A. Can't wait to see you guys again. Take care.